Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lost Mine Pokemon Trading Card Game channel. It is me, Landon Caitler, back with another post-rotation deck profile. Today, we got Raging Bolt EX. This is a deck that's kind of slid under the radar, I think. It's been doing okay in City Leagues, but people have kind of written it off because Professor Sada's Vitality rotates, which is admittedly part of a problem, but Crispin is here. Crispin is here to accelerate energies almost as good as Sada, and sometimes it's a little better. This is a bit of a out there deck list. We got 4 copies of Raging Bolt to start, but there's some pretty unique things in here. We all know what Raging Bolt does. Bellowing Thunder, Burst Roar. This has been a one-hit knockout merchant since its release, traditionally paired with Sada. Now our only energy acceleration other than the Teal Dance is Crispin. But we have really good access to Crispin, which I'm very excited about. We're going to move on to the next 4 copies of an EX here. 4 copies of Teal Mask Ogerpon. Teal Dance is going to be a lot more important because our energy acceleration is weaker. We're going to need to be able to chain Teal Dance a lot more often. It's going to be a lot more important in terms of getting our damage output maintained at a high amount. 350 is the amount you're probably going to need to hit for, which is 5 energies. It's not going to be uncommon to be Teal Dancing like 3 times a turn most of the game. Myriad Leaf Shower, also a very good attack. Unfortunately, I don't have Briar in here at this time. I do think Briar, especially with the 4 copies of Meowth, is a pretty good addition. 4 copies of Meowth here. This is going to be how we find our supporters, obviously. Probably not too many decks that you're going to see playing 4 copies of this card. A bit crazy, but we do play 1 copy of Carmine, so it's great going first. And then going second, it's going to let us hit Crispin really easily. So it's pretty easy for this list to get turn 1 attacks, even for like 2 prize knockouts, because all you need is like 1 Teal Dance, 1 Crispin, and then you've got 210 damage going second. But yeah, next up for more support Pokemon, 2 Mega Kangaskhan. This list, you'll see it has a bit of a way to get this off the board. It's got some tricks, which I'm pretty excited about. Run Errand is just going to let us draw 2 once per turn when it's in the active. It is possible you use Rapid Fire Combo. We are a 4 Crispin deck. We do have an amount of E-Switch in here, so powering up this attack isn't going to be the hardest thing ever, but you're mostly just going to be probably drawing 2 to 6 cards off of this a game, which is better than drawing 0. Next up, 2 Latios. This is going to be very important for us, especially with something like Mega Kangaskhan. All of our Pokemon have at least some amount of retreat. A lot of them are 3+. I know Raging Bolt's 3, Kangaskhan 3, Blood Moon's 3. So Latios is going to be really important that we don't prize it. And then we do lose Nest Ball, so it's a lot easier to find this when you play 2 copies. It's actually twice as easy. Just a little bit of math for you, but obviously, Skyline is very important. We play no Psychic Energy, so Eon Blade is unusable. 1 Blood Moon. This is going to be really good for late games. Obviously, we all know what Blood Moon does. 240 for up to 0, as little as 0 energy. We are, again, our Crispin E-Switch deck, so we can be attacking with this earlier. Do have 1 Iron Leaves. I kind of hate this card. I think it's kind of terrible, but Rapid Vernier is our only way to get out of retreat locking, like Sob or Maractus or Sudowoodo, Knackley, a bunch of different things. Soon to be Stunfisk EX. There's a lot of things that can trap, and trapping gets a lot better since we lose Penny Turo, so I wouldn't be surprised to see like an uptick in retreat locking effects post-rotation. So this is kind of our hedge against this. Charizard rotates, so Prism Edge is a lot weaker. This is good against basically only Grimmsnarl, but the reason I don't like it is because you can basically always just Myriad Leaf Shower for the same amount of damage, and this attaches to itself. But yeah, this is our out to retreat lock. We can do it multiple times because of Area 0 plus Night Stretcher. Then we do have Fez, obviously, and then we do have 1 copy of Chen Pao. The Snow Sink ability has multiple uses in this deck. We are a 2 Kangaskhan Blood Moon 4 Meowth deck, so very good against Watchtower, so we can get our abilities back. When you bench this, you discard a Stadium from play. Can't use a second attack, 1 retreat, 120 HP, but this in conjunction with Area 0 is going to be able to let us clear our bench off. So we can go fill our bench up to 8 or up to 7, bench Chen Pao, maybe discard a damaged Pokemon that's taken a hit, maybe discard a couple of Meowths. This in conjunction with Night Stretcher, we can do it twice in a game, which I really like. We can also use Iron Leaves twice using this. Say you're up against Retreat Lock, you use the Iron Leaves, you promote it, you retreat or attack with this, and then you can Snow Sink, discard the Iron Leaves from your bench, Night Stretcher it back later. So this has a lot of utility. I think this card itself gives the deck a whole new angle that it didn't really have previously in traditional lists. I know Chen Pao has seen play in Bolt before, but this is a really good addition. For supporters, 4 copies of Crispin. Like I said, no Sada anymore, so we're not drawing 3 cards. We're just getting energy, but this card's really good in this deck. I know this did see play pre-rotation. We aren't playing Noctowl here today, but this was up to a 2 of, maybe 3 of in some of the Noctowl builds, even non-Noctowl builds as well. Just kind of upped your outs to finding acceleration, but 4 Crispin's enough, especially with the 4 Meowth. We're finding these. We're using them when we need to. If you already have one of the energies for Bolt in hand, it's really nice to get a Grass and have a free Teal Lance off of this. Obviously, this is worse than Sada, but it does the job. I'm still a really big fan of this deck right now. Next up, 2 copies of Boss. Boss is not super important to play in high copies, as we've traditionally seen maybe like a 1 or 2 of in Bolt before. No Prime in this list, so the 2 Boss are going to be really important. But we're always able to clear whatever's in the active spot. So I don't think the high Boss is super needed, because it's usually just used to like win the game on the last turn. Maybe take a 2-prize knockout earlier in the game or something like that. Then we have quite a few 1-off supporters. We've got 1 Lily, 1 Carmine, 1 Judge, 1 Serrano. And like I said, I would like to squeeze a Briar in here. I don't know where the space is, but we can play a lot of 1-off supporters because of the Meowth. So we've got Lily for just a generic good draw. Carmine, dump and draw any point in the game, but obviously we can use this going first. With 4 Ultra Ball and 4 Meowth, we have 9 outs to Carmine going first, so our deck is very consistent. 1 Judge, at any point being able to just go Meowth for a hand disrupt is very good. And then Serrano also going second. Meowth for Serrano can find like Ogerpon, Bolt, plus a Latios or something, or a Kangaskhan. It really does just set you up really well. Some hands just really like using this. This is probably the card I'd consider cutting for the Briar right now, but so far Serrano's been good in testing. For Ball Search, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Terra Orb. Nest Ball rotates, so Terra Orb's only target is the 4 copies of Teal Mask Ogerpon, but we do always need Ogerpon in play. It's an integral part of our game plan. We play 4 copies for a reason. And then the 4 Ultra Ball, fantastic with Meowth. We don't really have much discards energy, but it is nice to be able to discard dead cards so you don't get drawing into them later in the game. And then obviously it's just generic Pokemon Search items. We have 1 Energy Switch, 1 Energy Retrieval, 1 Night Stretcher, and our stamp is our Ice Spec. Energy Switch, very strong with Crispin, very strong with Ogerpon, being able to E-switch energy to maybe Kangaskhan, E-switch energy to Blood Moon, E-switch your energy to Raging Bolt. It can act somewhat as a Crispin mid-game if you have energy in play already as an item. Energy Retrieval, very powerful. A lot of the time it's just getting back like Grass plus the energy you need to attack for Raging Bolts, but sometimes gets back double Grass, can draw 2. I think I like this better than second Night Stretcher. 1 Night Stretcher, very good for getting back Iron Leaves, Chen-Pao, Fez, Blood Moon, gets back Meowth for a supporter. If it's in the discard pile, gets back Raging Bolt, gets back energy. Obviously we know Night Stretcher is great. 1 on first Stamp, so we do have 2 hand disruption effects here. Stamp is great in these aggressive decks. Stamp has seen play in Raging Bolt before. Say you're in like a 2-2-2 prize map scenario, your opponent's trying to do the same, you go Stamp, KO, it's going to be really hard for them to return the knockout without benching something like a Fez, which then gets you another 2 prize knockout with a Boss or something. Stamp is obviously just very powerful. It's the best hand disruption deck, or card post-rotation. I think you'll see it a lot more than you did pre-rotation because Iono is gone. For Area 0 is our only Stadium card. This is fantastic in this deck with the 4 Meowth. We have room for all of our support Pokemon. We'll always have room for like Kangaskhan, Latios, Fez, multiple Meowth, multiple Ogerpon, Raging Bolts, and then we have the tricks with Chen-Pao. Also very important that we play a high supporter count for something like Watchtower, because our deck does get farmed by Watchtower, honestly. And then for Energy, 4, 8, 9 Grass, and then we have 4 Fighting, 3 Lightning. There's no real reason to play 4 or 3 of either one. It could be 4 Lightning, 3... Actually, it probably should be 4 Lightning, 3 Fighting, so if your opponent's playing a Levincia deck, I think that's actually like a strictly better swap, but not a huge deal. And then we have 9 Grass because we want to be, like I said, using each Ogerpon each turn if we can. Over the turn of point of the game, you can probably draw up to like 8, 9, 10 cards off of Ogerpon if you're Ogerponing 2 to 3 times every turn. And then, we just need to draw energies. We need them in deck for Crispin. We no longer have Super Rod, so it's a lot harder to recycle things that way. Not that you really played that traditionally in Bolt to begin with, but this is a very aggressive version of Raging Bolt. You may see versions with Noctowl. The 4 Meowth is kind of our version of Noctowl, because a lot of the time you were finding like Crispin plus a Ball Search or something. So I really like this list. It's very aggressive. You're very easily attacking turn 1 going second. You're really easily attacking turn 2 going first. We have very good going first draws with the Carmine, very good first draw or second draws going with the Crispin. Really like the idea of this deck. You could maybe try to find a Baby Bolt in here. Like I said, maybe trying a Briar for some 3 prize turn knockouts with the Ogerpon would be cool. But look out for some gameplay with this deck. Very excited about playing this. This has been a lot of fun in the testing we've done so far. Very excited to show this off. That being said, if you liked the video, please leave us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Check me out on Metafy and Twitter. Check Lucas out on Twitter. Check out our Twitter page, The Lost My Podcast, on Twitter, regrettably. That being said, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.